Hi guys, it's Debbie. Now I know your news feeds are probably full to the brim with coronavirus related news, but having a platform like this, which can potentially reach many people around the world, I couldn't not say what has to be said. I'm Italian, I live in Italy, and because of the immense number of people here who have contracted the new coronavirus, COVID-19, our whole country is under lockdown. At the moment, the cases are over 20,000, but the numbers could be higher because not every person is tested. But we are all in quarantine. The whole country is under a lockdown. That means we are only allowed to leave our houses for absolutely necessary reasons, such as grocery shopping, or if we belong to categories that are still allowed to work, such as doctors, obviously, policemen, and so on. Everybody in Italy is required to do this, and if you don't follow the rules, the police will stop you and heavily fine you. In the worst case scenario, the law says that you could actually go to jail. And if, say, hypothetically, you knowingly have symptoms of the virus and go around and infect somebody who then dies, that is homicide. Life in jail. It's no longer, oh, you know, these things go around in the winter, don't they? But I don't think this message gets across until it hits close to home. Up until a few weeks ago here in Italy, most of us had underestimated the virus, something which I think many people in the world are still doing. Most of us thought it was a simple flu, and as long as we washed our hands and sneezed into our elbows and kept distance from people at risk, such as elderly people, everything would have been okay. At the moment, instead, we go to bed reading that hundreds of people have died since lunchtime. In any given day, hundreds of people are hospitalized with tubes down their throat, or they are dying at home, gasping for air. And if you think this is something that just affects elderly people and it's not that big of a problem, first of all, it doesn't only affect them. Second of all, to get this message across, think of your parents or grandparents or many ill or disabled people out there. This could be them. I'm fine with all the memes and funny videos going around, mostly because in the end they mock people who don't follow the rules and they do spread awareness in their own way. But what I'm not okay with is people taking this lightly and saying they're okay with it affecting only older people or people who are more at risk. That they are literally okay with older people dying, that they're going to keep on going on with their life because this is a boomer remover.
Exactly, and 80% or 60% of people who die from it are over the age of 60.
Oh, then they should probably die anyway.
Ooh, I low-key would agree, but like...
Who are the boomers? Your parents, grandparents? Just please think about that. The only way is not thinking as individuals, but thinking as a whole nation, or even as a whole world. Yes, I know that us perfectly healthy 20, 30-year-olds get kind of bored staying at home, knowing that the chances of getting critically ill, even contracting the virus, are very slim. Thousands of us could have it in this moment. Thousands of us will probably not even discover they ever had it in the first place. But we can't think like that. Italians have stopped thinking like that. Our government finally made us realize this. We have to act as if we were a huge walk-in virus which could potentially infect people and literally kill them. It's no longer, geez, that man sneezed on the train and now I've got a runny nose. It's now, I was too selfish to stay at home and watch Netflix and eat pizza, and I decided to go around town for no apparent reason, touching everything, coughing on everything, sneezing on everything, and now my neighbor is putting out the garbage and I could potentially be killing him. It's brutal, but that's how you have to think of it. What absolutely won't save you or save your loved ones from the virus is cramming supermarkets to stock buy tons of food. Do you know how high up your risk of getting coronavirus went by fighting people down at your local supermarket, by touching everything, grabbing, sweating, discussing, bringing your whole family? Maybe you won't have any symptoms, but then you have friends around for dinner and they get it too. Then on Sunday they go to church and the whole aisle has it. That's how it spreads. And guess what? Italians eat a lot. We love food. And we won't have anybody take our food away from us. It's part of our culture. But except for a few isolated cases right at the beginning of the outbreak, when information was still very unclear, every single supermarket around Italy is stocked. There are no issues with grocery shopping. Of course, there are rules to follow. You can't go shopping if you have symptoms of the virus. Only one person per family is allowed. You have to stay 1 meter away from other people. In some shops, for example pharmacies, you won't even be allowed. You'll be called in one at a time. You have to pick your supermarket close to home, and you are very welcome to bring your own mask and gloves. And you know what Italian supermarkets are currently out of stock? Yeast. That's because Italian families are at home baking pizza and cakes. Not toilet paper, not essential goods, yeast to bake cupcakes with their kids. Everything works fine if the quarantine is organized. Also remember, I'm giving an example of a country in which there is universal healthcare. Anybody will be treated regardless of their financial situation. But now you have to think of your own country and think, does my country offer the same opportunity? Will everybody be able to be treated for the virus? Will I keep helping spreading the virus knowing that many people will not have access to any cure? So even if your government hasn't yet imposed a strict lockdown, it's up to you to use the right precautions. Not misspreading information online, not supporting influencers who are promoting vitamin C to cure the virus, not stock buying supermarkets, just staying away from other people. But I still need to work every day. Yes, that's fine. But after work, do you have to go into town, out for dinner with your friends? Do you have to go for drinks after that? On the weekend, do you need to go to the shopping centre? Do you need to have a huge party at your house? In Italy at first, many were complaining. Of course, it's hard to ask a free country to temporarily give up certain freedoms. But now here it's become sort of a personal will to do something good for others. And if you can do some good in pyjamas, in front of Netflix, eating some popcorn, what's so hard in that? You will literally save your country by doing nothing. Do not visit friends and family. We are in the era of internet and Skype and video calling. Call your relatives, check up with your grandparents, just don't go visit them. See if they require any assistance and organize that from a distance. Just remember, you are a huge walk-in viral threat. We're always complaining about how we don't have enough time, how we would love to relax for a while, how we don't spend enough time with our kids, how we've always wanted to learn to do that thing, how we've always wanted to cook that recipe, clean out that closet, paint that room, fix that garden, do more ab exercises, read more, watch that film. Now that we're desperately asking people to not do anything that isn't necessarily, you don't need to feel like prisoners who need to get out. In Italy, everything is running perfectly fine from home. You can even stream Sunday Mass on Facebook. Please think of the bigger scheme. If you have any questions regarding the new coronavirus, I would highly recommend checking out the official information your government is providing. Not Kathy on Facebook sharing garlic recipes that supposedly cure you. And if you have any more down-to-earth, easy questions you would like to ask me, feel free to leave a comment down below. See you soon. Bye.